friends. This is Aggie.
Hi, it's Shelly.
And we are going to be painting some watercolors with you tonight. We're going to be doing some triad swatches and maybe a simple color wheel. And we're just going to chill out. I've been like on fire today for some reason. I've been kicking A and taking prisoners all day. I don't know what's gotten into me.
Aggie's been in rare form today.
It's like the masculine alter ego side of me has come out.
But you know, mostly it's within this this Star Sellers group, and those ladies they're there for the work, so they're signed up
kicking butt too. Oh
yeah,
my goodness.
Yeah, they're it's like we were just talking about in the last live. You have to be able to get a little out of your comfort zone and hear the strong language a little bit, not language, but strong words to like really push us to do the things we need to do.
Yes. And it's just making a decision. Like I keep sharing my silly story about investing all that money into that class that I took. And when I found out she wanted me to go live and she wanted me to post 5 times a week and every day do this. And I'm like, I don't want to do all that. And I was kicking and screaming the whole time. I wish I had just done it. Hey, Laura. Hi, Lori. I don't know. Should I keep telling that story over and over again? Maybe not. My color wheel. This is a set that comes with a value finder. Who's saying this?
That's me.
It says Agnes Friedlander Studio.
I know. It doesn't let me. It doesn't like post any other way.
So you shared your color wheel. Let me see what size it is. It looks like a smaller one.
It has the value, the grayscale value finder that comes with it, but it also
nice.
One side is the color wheel, the regular kind of color wheel. The other side is what I was showing before, that kind of shows the triads that we were talking about tonight. So I just thought I'd post a link and it's out there for everyone.
I just thought of something. One of the members, when I asked, do you know what a triad is? She thought it was 3 opposite colors on the color wheel. Actually, it's not.
It's not.
It's if you look at that color wheel, what Shelly just showed, it's 3 evenly spaced colors on the color wheel. And they don't have to be evenly spaced, okay? We're not the triad police.
Right, but it just, when you have things like this, it's just a something we can refer to that can help us think of different colors that might go. This color wheel is amazing. It shows a little window if you add a little white. It's just I love getting little things like this, and then and on this one you really have to get out like your super duper magnifying glass because it's got some.
I got paint on the back of mine. Oh, let me clean it real quick.
But spend a little bit of time going through some of the the descriptions. They talk about primary colors, secondary colors, tertiary colors. It's fun to just
about right here. It says how to use the color wheel, the color relationship wheel. Remember, we were talking about it's all relational, how they relate to each other, how they look next to each other.
Well, and doing this kind of thing, this kind of little exercise where you just sit down, you don't have any pressure of anything else. You're just playing with paints, seeing what what you can mix, seeing what you can come up with. The more that we can become familiar with our palettes, whether they're watercolor or acrylic, the stronger we're going to be as painters. We were just talking about that a little bit in our last live talk when we were talking about the fall forest, but it's one of the amazing things that I like about having the limited palette. And I feel like I'm just much more in control. I love the eyebrows. I'm much more in control with these colors that I know. you know, and I've spent some time with.
They become your friends. You just know what to expect from them.
Well, and so that very much that, but also when I go to do a painting, and especially if I sell my pieces. So if I resell a piece, for instance, last week I sold another one of the spring bunnies. Yay. I know what color it is because I only have a certain number of colors on my palette. So it's not a big puzzle. You know, I know what I've used. So do that.
Well, and that's the other thing. When I wanted to throw this in, but I felt like I kept butting into what you were saying, so I kind of restrained myself. But we don't want to make ourselves box ourselves in, and it does suck the joy out of it. Shelley, Shelley and I just feed off of each other when we get into these conversations. I'm like, yeah, you're right. That's what it is. It sucks the joy. It takes the freedom. Freedom's a big thing to me, which is why I love art so much. It's so freeing. And I don't want to be boxed in by these are the pigments that I use, and
well, you're
and
going
then
to
I have
make a
to
mistake.
match something. I have to match my instructor. No. That you don't have to do that.
You're going to make a mistake. If you try to do that, if you try to box yourself in, you're going to end up with stuff that doesn't work. You're going to make a mistake. Let your eye see what you're seeing. Let your piece go where it's going. You know what to do.
Here's the point too. What I was going to try to say. We don't want to have to tell our customers. Don't let your customers tell you, I want this color and this color and this color, because they don't know. They don't understand. They don't know what you know. Right. And that is the color is relational. That blue green looks really nice because I have the peach next to it.
Yeah.
That's why it's working. Don't tell me to take the peach out. The peach has to stay.
Yeah. Yeah.
Sorry, or whatever it is. You don't have to tell your customer that, but you know what I'm saying. Yeah. You as an artist know better than they do. It's, I'm a hairstylist too. And sometimes people come in and they tell me, now we know what looks good on us. Actually, most of us know. Some people don't know what looks good on them. It's my job to figure out how to solve the problem. Please don't tell me how to solve the problem. I want you to make my hair red and I want this and this and this. Well, red on you is going to make you look really green, or whatever. You know what I mean? It's like, I'll fix the problem. You just tell me what your issue is and I'll figure out how to fix it. Same way with art. Your job as the artist is to figure out how to solve that problem.
Well, we have to learn to stand our ground. We have to learn to say, I'm not going there. I won't do that. It won't work. You'll be unhappy with it. It does take. I know that some of our members in the group take commissions, and good for you. It's a whole different ballgame.
But I think there has to be certain parameters that you learn to put in place.
Yeah.
And if you have a customer that won't, that basically wants to dictate to you, run the other way.
Yeah.
They have to understand that as an artist, you need a great deal of flexibility.
Absolutely.
I'm not being a prima donna. I'm being realistic for you. It needs to be a source of joy for you to do commissions. Otherwise, you're not going to want to do them. They're going to become a big pain real fast.
They're treachery. Yeah. Yep.
So tonight, we're going to do. We're calling it a primary triad. Does anybody know what I mean by a primary triad?
I do.
Primary is the hint word. So primary colors. The primary colors are red, yellow, and blue. They cannot be mixed from any other color. That's all that means. You can't make red from yellow. I mean, you can mix some colors, but primaries, how do I want to say it?
Primary is the more pure color. When you start to mix other things, you end up, changing its purity, if that makes any sense.
You can simulate red by mixing yellow and orange, let's say, or yellow and magenta. but it's never going to be the purity of a red, a primary red, you know. So that's what we mean by primary. So we're going to basically mix a couple of different primaries together, and it doesn't matter. You don't have to use what we're using. You just want a yellow and a red and a blue. Okay. If you don't have a red, you can use burnt sienna, which is considered a red. If you don't have a yellow, you could use raw sienna, you know. So we'll talk about that. What do you think might be some interesting primaries, Shelley, out of what you've got, your colors?
I wanted to play a little bit with like the red violet, the red that goes a little bit more to the purple, even the Quin magenta. I think that would be fun to play with. So, you know, it'll be fun. We can kind of, maybe I'll start with.
Oh, someone's at the door. Sorry.
Someone's at your front door.
Sorry.
It'll be fun. I might start with kind of the more pure, just primaries, and then get a little crazy and play with some other variations of those.
I'm gonna make you the full screen while I figure out my. Oh my goodness! I'm gonna turn my camera down. Can you still hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
I don't know what is going on.
So I printed this from the PDF that is at the website. So if you're here and you don't know about getting our files for our Tuesday Night Lives, you just want to go to thepaintersjourney.com. Up at the top, there's a tab for Tuesday Night Live. I try to keep the most recent Tuesday Night Live at the top. So this one should be, I think it's named Watercolor Triads and palette something, I don't know. But this PDF is within that. You can download the PDF. I actually printed mine on the heavy watercolor paper. And I did it on both sides. I was just telling Aggie before we came live that I'm kind of a little bit of I'm a paper hoarder a little bit, and I freak out a little about wasting these big sheets of paper. So I'm using both sides to make myself feel a little better.
I have to switch my camera. I didn't realize I was using my iMac camera, so I'm going to do that. Sorry, Shelley.
That's okay.
I'll make you solo.
Solo. Well, while I'm solo, I'm going to talk about one of the things that we're giving away tonight. I have 3 bags of these glass leaf beads, and we'll just be picking a random comment. In the comment pickers, it's just easier to count the number of comments. So just comment anything on our live tonight, and tomorrow morning I will pick for my fun giveaway. I'll pick 3 people and I'll send them a little bag. I think I've got like 15 of the leaves. It's called Watercolor Pumpkins Triads. Thank you, Linda. So many names I forget. Hi, Christina. That's okay. You can always come back and watch the replay of it later. But I'll be sending out 3 of those bags to 3 different, sending out 1 bag to 3 different winners. And I think that they would be super cute on our little pumpkins while I'm.
Yes.
That'd be super cute on this. It's got lots of little fun things. I love all the little things you can kind of treasure hunt for. So no special thing to comment, just comment. Thanks.
I'm going to give away a few water brush pens too.
I know Liz has used.
Oh my goodness, a ton of prizes. We're going to do this at the end of tonight's broadcast.
Yeah, so I'm going to pick tomorrow morning just to kind of give. Debbie really wants to try that pumpkin. Debbie, these pumpkins are so fun. Melissa, thank you so much. That's so nice of you.
And I have some small ones.
So in all the posts that I've done about these pumpkins, the blue ones are really seem to be more popular. Thanks, Melissa. Oh, I'm trying to not run over a dog. I bought a bunch of the little 4x4s too. I love the little tiny ones. I don't know about you guys. Do you guys find that people purchase your little things more than the big things? I just find that
That's a good question.
the little stuff, people really love it. Linda's at work still.
Oh,
Yay. I'm glad that you can at least watch and hang out with us.
dancing pumpkins.
Melissa, you can absolutely paint these pumpkins. You absolutely can. We teach it very, very in detail in our classes. So I am certain that that's a piece that you could definitely paint.
All right, I have to figure out exactly how I'm going to do this. But so what I want you to do to start off, I want you to pick a yellow and a red and a blue that you think would go together. So for instance, just want to share with you, I'm going to make myself the solo here for a second.
Sure. I'm going to change my camera, so that's a good time.
So these are some of the pigments that I'm using. I'm using Holbein watercolors, but you could certainly do this with acrylic paints tonight if you want to. I want my light turned off. And so this first one here, 235, is my permanent yellow lemon. So it's this bright, clean, light yellow that you see right here. I'm going to point. I hate my fingers and my hands, so I'm going to point with this. I just think they're ugly. And then 213 is my opera, which is a fabulous color by Holbein. So it's not light fast though. It will fade if you put it in the sun. If you were to leave this watercolor on a wall where the sun is hitting it, it will fade. But oh well, I like it anyway. So I used that. It's a clean, bright pink. And then for my green, I used 292, which one is that? 292. What was that? 292. Oh, cerulean blue right here. So cerulean blue, if you're not familiar, that is a really soft, pale, clean blue.
Mm-hmm.
So these are bright, clean, light primaries that I used together, and that's what it looks like. The secondary colors that I get, and then this is what it looks like in a ring. Sometimes it's interesting to see how they blend together in a ring like that. Then for this one, I used a much more, traditional primary set. 239, I used aureolin, and if you're not familiar with aureolin, it's a lot like cadmium yellow. So it's obviously a little bit deeper than the permanent yellow lemon, which is just about ready to dip towards green, ever so slightly lemon yellow, lemon yellow. Aureolin is more of a true yellow, like a daffodil yellow. And then 222 is Scarlet Lake. Scarlet Lake, if you don't know, in watercolor, Scarlet Lake is like, red. It's like cadmium red, I guess, right, Shelley?
Yeah, I have the Scarlet Lake and the Pyrrole Red. I love both of those.
Yeah, I don't know if there's much difference between the two, but probably not a whole lot, right?
I have it swatched on my palette. I think that the Scarlet might go a little bit oranger.
Do you have it close by? I'd love to see it.
Yeah, I have it.
And then here's my 294 is, of course, ultramarine blue. And a lot of the old masters used ultramarine blue. That pigment has been around for centuries. So anyway, that's and I get these really traditional orange, green, and purple. So look at the difference that you see between this triad of primaries and this triad of primaries, right? Isn't that cool?
I love it. The difference, you get the more earthy tones.
Oh.
And that's a good, that more kind of traditional triad that you have on the bottom. You can see some of the pretty browns and the earth tones that you can get there.
Yes. And
I
look
like
at
that.
this, might be really perfect for a pumpkin study. Look at this beautiful burnt orange purpley color.
Love that.
Okay.
Beautiful color. So I was talking a second ago about the pyrrole red. This one is the pyrrole red. This one is the Scarlet Lake. So you can see it.
Oh, they're really close, but you're right. Scarlet Lake is just a little more orangey, or at least that's the way it looks on this camera.
Yeah, that's the way it looks here too. I know that sometimes it's hard to see.
Right.
See.
So consider, and you could even use a orange for your red if you wanted to. You could even use a turquoise for your blue. Why not?
And that's the fun of it, is that there's no rules when you sit down. Just kind of have a general idea of what the triad is. Use the, oh, I couldn't find my color wheel. Use the color wheel to, see where the triads are, and and play with them.
So the challenge in both of us showing you what we've got going on is it's a little bit challenging. So I'm sorry that we have to make the screen, the view, a little bit smaller, but that's one reason why we do this on YouTube, because you can zoom in on YouTube. Oh, we've got a question here. Have you ever done any delicate glass on your watercolor paintings? I did, and it sold right away. You can take these watercolor paintings and mount them onto a substrate and add glass and resin to them just like anything else. So great question.
You just want to be sure that you seal it.
Yeah. You want to seal it not because of the watercolor necessarily, but because of the porosity of the paper.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, you don't want the resin
so porous
in, and yeah.
Okay, so I finally broke in my palette, as you can see. Oh, we don't have Marcia here. Where's Marcia?
Where's our Marcia? She'll be here.
Right there. She'll watch later. Hi, Marcia. See, I'm already saying hi to her. So, what we're going to do is at the top of this big, you're going to start with a small one, Shelley?
Oh, I don't know.
Yeah, let's start with a small one. Maybe it's easier. Let's just start with, break it in this way. So just go ahead and put your yellow in the top. And then I'm going to try and make them all consistent. I'm going to put my red on the right and my blue on the left. I don't know why. Is that the way it is on the color wheel? No, on the color wheel, it's the opposite. And I don't know why. But, whatever. So I'm going to use my lemon. Now, I did not wet my palette first. Yeah, that's the thing too, is writing down what you've got, what you're using. I really should have wet this first. My paints, I mean.
Oh yeah, I just sprayed mine.
I think instead of ultramarine, I'm going to try cobalt this time, which is, let's see which one. I'm still not used to which one is which on here.
That's another great thing, though, about spending some time doing a study like this, is you're also kind of getting familiar with where your paints are on your, it really doesn't take too much time with your palette, before you kind of start to get a feel for it.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. This doesn't seem like it's cobalt, but I guess it is.
I'm going to use Naples yellow, pyrrole red, and peacock blue.
Isn't that peacock blue nice?
I love the peacock blue. I don't know what the squares are for. I'm just now realizing.
Well, I think we can make secondary colors.
Okay.
I'll show you that in a second. Okay, what was my red again? See, I'm already forgetting. I think it was scarlet. Okay.
Michelle, is your question, would you seal it like Aggie did on the alcohol ink cactus? Is that what you mean?
Oh, yeah, you can use, I forgot what we used on that, Michelle.
I don't remember what we used either.
Yeah, I mean, any kind of sealer should work fine.
Hi, Kay from Las Vegas. I'm so happy that you joined us. Yeah, I'm guessing here because I've never spray sealed a watercolor before, but I've never sealed a watercolor, but I do think that you're probably better with a spray version. Then the poly, what is that called? Polyacrylic. Polyacrylic has a spray too. But it seems like spraying it might be better than actually trying to brush it on. Linda says, I haven't worked much with watercolors, but would love to learn. I do work with epoxy, but not watercolor or with the glass. I'm already hooked. How do I get into the group? Yes.
Yay.
So
you can, yep, go ahead, Shelley.
Oh, no, I'm sorry. Linda, we'd love to have you join the group. And there is just something about working with the glass. I every time I say this, I feel a little bit weird, but if I go a few days without working with the glass, I kind of miss it. But you can just hear, even with these glass beads, you can just, you can kind of hear the sound that they make as they, there's just something magical about working with the glass. So we would love to have you join us. You can go to www.thepaintersjourney, and there are links there to join the membership. There we have a monthly plan, which you can cancel at any time. We also have a yearly membership, and with that choice, you get 2 months free. So it's you get a full year of all of our classes that we've already done and all the classes that we will do in the year, including the Procreate class that I teach and the Etsy class that I teach and all the stuff. You get us. So we'd love to have you join us. But feel free to message us if you have any questions. We'd love to help.
Yay. So all I'm doing is first I'm filling in the circles with the colors, and then I'm blending them together. And with watercolor, it's super easy. You just put a little strip of water and kind of rub the pigment from the circle into that little strand of water, and it'll move. So it's a good practice for you because it'll get you acclimated with, letting watercolor do its thing, kind of rubbing the pigment up and making it move. It's good, clean fun. It's good practice. And look at the pretty thing that it did here. Isn't that cool?
I love it.
No other medium does something like that. Nothing else does what watercolor can do. So now I want to get my secondary colors. So it's the colors that would be in the bar part that we made. So basically, I'm going to take a little bit of yellow, and this is good practice for you too. And again, I mentioned last week, get yourself a jar. Glass is better because you're less likely to knock it over. So, these jelly jars are perfect. Get yourself a couple of these. And the jelly is really delicious. Shelly probably doesn't eat that.
I
But
don't eat
I want you to use the same jar every time because it's muscle memory hitting that jar. You're going to get used to rinsing your brush and then wiping on the rim to get the excess water out, pointing the brush downward, get the excess water out. This is going to become a rote habit for you, and you want that. And then I'm going to grab a little bit of red. So this is where I'm going to mix the two together, right? Usually red is going to really overpower yellow, but I'm going to go ahead and put that in here. Let's see, where do I want that? I guess here. So there's my mixture from the two. I know it's not really showing up on my in-between strand, but you get the idea. Then I'm going to take red and mix it with the blue. There's this blue, right? And again, you don't need as much blue. You need a little bit more red probably. I'll put that over here. And that's a really interesting purple that I got. And then I'm going to get my green by mixing my lemon yellow and my blue. And there we have that. So what's interesting is when you compare them to the other ones. Can I get the camera closer? I can try.
We can just show just yours right now if you want to, Aggie, just to get yours in there.
Okay. Okay, then I need to, well, is this going to work? I'm going to do this next one right here.
Yeah, that looks good.
Okay, so now that was lemon yellow. Now my aureolin is a little bit dirty from some early Christmas trees that I was doing. Mary asked if I could do a Christmas tree, a quick little Christmas tree. And I am going to show you that tonight. So here's the aureolin yellow. Put that there. And maybe for the blue on this one, I'll use, what is this one? Yeah, I'm still getting used to my colors. I think this one's peacock blue. Peacock blue. Look how pretty that is. I love peacock blue. I had to send one to Shelly.
I
She
was
didn't
so
have it.
excited.
Look
was
how,
so
I mean, it's like phthalo blue green shade in a way, right?
So pretty.
And then my red, let's use quinacridone magenta. And if I have a lot of water coming off my brush, a lot of color, you know, it makes a little puddle, that's good. It's better to have a little puddle. So now I'm going to rinse my brush out and create a little stream in between. Just kind of poke it a little bit to get it to move over into that little puddle. So that magenta really traveled quite a bit, but that's okay. I can probably pull some of it back out by blotting my brush.
Yeah, I love pulling color back off like that.
Yeah, so create a thirsty brush by blotting.
Yeah, that's
And
so
go
fun.
in and clean it up. And then I'm going to add some aureolin back in up here. So this is very good practice for you. You're manipulating things here. You're learning to blend a little bit. You're learning how to, you know, pull color up, add more color back down, etc. Right? So let's create
All that practice with the brush is time well spent.
and look at this purple. Oh, wee. Oh, is that pretty? I'm gonna get a little bit more. you know, at some point you have to decide to stop, but I really like that one actually. So let's get our secondaries then. So again, Aureolin, I'm going to go over here on my palette. That's my yellow. My blue was this one. I should have written this down. Let me write this down. This is Aureolin. Lin. And this one was Peacock. And this one was Quin Magenta. Right? Okay, so here's my Aureolin. I'm going to mix some Quin Magenta with it. And that'll be my orange. And of course, I made it a little too much magenta. You can mix right on the paper. That's another good practice too. A lot of really good watercolorists let their paints mix right on the paper.
I've even seen watercolorists that mix on a test paper and then use the color then on their piece.
Oh yeah, yeah. And then I'm going to get some Quin Magenta and my blue. Mix those together. Ooh wee, pretty. So this is a much cooler purple. Very grapey. I like it.
Great.
And then the green is Aureolin. Ooh, what a vibrant green. Wow. So, wow. It's a very unrealistic green.
It's very pretty though. It's very pretty.
But it is pretty, yeah. So, and look at the difference between the two, right? You see quite a difference there. I suppose I could have added more Scarlet Lake back in on this one, but that's okay. All right, you want to do one, Shelley?
I've been working. I'm not as fast as you are.
Oh, that's okay.
But I've been working. So I did my second one with Quin Magenta and Yellow Ochre, which was, you know, that's way out there. And the Phthalo Blue. This is a Phthalo Blue red shade. But, you know, I thought while we're experimenting, why not?
Yeah, well, I'm going to do that. I like the earthy colors. I'm going to do one with, I don't have Yellow Ochre, but I have raw sienna, which is very, very similar.
Yes, that is very similar. So I'm just going to mix some of the Quin Magenta and then bring in some of the Yellow Ochre. I always love using Yellow Ochre because my oil teacher that I loved, that was one of her favorite colors. So whenever I think of Yellow Ochre, I think of her. Isn't that funny?
Yeah. So I'm doing raw sienna and burnt sienna for my red. And then maybe I'll do Payne's gray for my blue.
Ooh, that'd be fun. Yes, Claire, you do need some watercolors. I think that I reach for the watercolors a lot. I've just made a mess of this paper. I reach for my watercolors a lot when I just want to just relax. I just want to, you know, just be free and just doodle. I love to watercolor with doodles. New subscriber, but love the colors and all the possibilities. Yes,
Yay. I think we're getting more people watching tonight because we I remembered to put it out there a little bit early. Give some notice to people. Oh, hello.
Well, and I think it's fun to just, you know, what we talked about with this one, just there's, you know, no pressure of creating something. It's just a real laid back, um, you know, just playing with color. Claire's watching from the car. Yay.
Hey, Claire. Good to see you, girl.
I have to remember where I put
Now,
my.
you're a Brit. You mean a Brit that doesn't have watercolors? I thought you were all born with them in your hands.
Is that a Brit thing? Do most?
Oh, yes, I think
Really?
so. Well, I guess I shouldn't say that, but I think so.
I didn't
Very
realize.
popular. Yeah.
I'm not getting all of my colors in the same order, but that's all right.
Yeah, that's totally okay.
I love that phthalo blue red shade with the Quin magenta made an amazing purple.
Oh, I've always loved phthalo blue red shade. It's kind of a good substitute for anthraquinone blue, which was nobody could get a hold of that for a while.
I don't think I've ever even heard of that color. That's an interesting name.
Yeah, it's just kind of a purpley blue, you know.
Is it mostly just a watercolor color?
No, it's everything.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Huh.
It's really nice in acrylics too.
So I'll do yellow ochre and the phthalo blue red shade for, let's see what we get for that green. We always know that the phthalos are very strong, so I'm going to try to control a little bit how much I add to this. It's kind of a nice olivey green. That's pretty.
Oh, how exciting. Oh, wait, I was trying to show Claire's. Claire is saying that hopefully they're moving into the new home next week or next month, at the end of the month. Oh, that's so exciting, Claire. Yay. And you're going to be in your big studio. Oh my goodness. You've waited a long time. Deborah Keller. Hi, Deborah. Question. Do you also teach how to cut the glass in the Painter's Journey membership? Oh, yes, we sure do. We love cutting glass.
We go through it.
You know, we teach you how to use nippers, and we teach you how to use the handheld, the pencil grip cutters.
Yep.
So yeah, I mean, the nice thing about the membership is that you can go into all of the classes. The Holly and Poinsettia class is really a good one for learning how to cut glass. That's the one I always think of.
Which one did you say? The
Holly and Poinsettias.
Yeah, the sunflowers is another great one.
All right, I'm going to switch you back over to me. I feel like a broadcaster.
Now back to you.
This is fun. I'm enjoying this. So I used raw sienna, right? Yeah, raw sienna. So that was Michelle. Michelle is still watching, right? Michelle, do you have watercolors? Raw sienna, and then this is Payne's Gray.
So Margaret says she's new to the group and has done watercolor in the past. Do you have a watercolor and brand list for members? What palette are you using? So Margaret, if you go to the website, thepaintersjourney.com, and then you click on Tuesday Night Live, if you download the Pumpkins in Watercolor PDF, it has a full list of the watercolors that Aggie uses. And it also has a picture of what we have on each of our palettes. So
sorry.
I think Aggie's, is yours a Holbein pattern too? A Holbein palette too?
Yeah, if you're asking literally what palette, this is a Holbein metal palette. I had to wait a while to get this. Shelley has one too. Yeah, but you don't have to get this metal one. You could buy, there's an alternate on the supply list. I spent hours working on the supply list, so I'm glad somebody wants it.
There's so much great information on that supply list. in that whole PDF. It's a great PDF. You can download it and print it out, or just download it and save it to your device.
Yeah.
So
And it's free. Go grab it.
Yeah.
So here's page 1. Here is page 2 with an explanation of how you can set up your paper to get most cards. So we were teaching how to do pumpkin cards and put them in turquoise envelopes, which I never did show that part. But anyway, here is the watercolor list, the supplies list. And I've even included prices. These prices are from not too long ago. And then tonight we shared, this PDF with these for you. And then here is the list of what is on my palette and what's on Shelly's palette. And we are both using Holbein watercolors. And I recommend the 15 milliliter tubes because it's just a much better value, but you don't have to get that. You could get the 5 ml tubes, or any watercolor that you want to get is fine. I prefer Holbein because there's no ox gall in it, which makes it dry out and crackle and stuff. So these are actually vegan. So that's kind of nice. But anyway. But great question. Thanks for asking. Ooh, Payne's Gray.
We love Payne's Gray in the membership.
Oh, look at Claire saying that she thinks the membership is the best value on the internet. Teaches you so many things and brings your creations up to the next level. Thank you, Claire, for saying that.
That's very nice, Claire. Thank you.
And we all love Payne's Gray. I don't know what it is about Payne's Gray.
It took me a long time to get that color. You remember, like, for months, I was like, I still need to get Payne's Gray. I still need to get Payne's Gray. And then I did. And now I have it on my watercolor palette already, too. So I love that.
Oh, you just ordered some new. Hey, Christina, how are you doing, girl? What kind of glass cutters did you get? Nippers, or did you get the handheld ones? All right, so this is interesting, right? I should have added more. Now, sometimes with 100% cotton paper. Oh, and by the way, I shared a video that I was talking ad nauseum about watercolor paper. If you want to look for that right on this channel, I shared that earlier today. You do want to get 100%. Now, in that video, I wasn't talking about, the necessity to use 100% cotton paper. But I've kind of gotten to the point now where I really do recommend. That's another thing you can do to up-level yourself. And it's just easier to work on 100% cotton paper. It is more expensive. So if you're doing stuff that doesn't really matter, get the Canson Excel cheapy stuff from Michaels. I was just telling Shelly that earlier today because I get it. I'm cheap. I'm not Shelly. I'm not saying Shelly's cheap.
I'm cheap. I am cheap.
I'm frugal. It kind of takes a few tries to do something, and then I'll get the good stuff out. You know what I mean?
Well, and not everything I do is of the same importance, right?
Right, right.
If I just want to doodle and just have fun. And I do love, I got, I think I set them back. I did get those on Prime Day. They had the little watercolor notebooks, the little journal kind of books. And I loved those because I can paint from those and give them to my grandchildren at, someday, and they'll have some of my stuff. So.
All right. So I'm cleaning this off so I can get I don't think we're going to see much here, but I'll take some raw sienna and mix a little burnt sienna in with it. That'll be this, right? And then I'll take some burnt sienna and mix a tiny bit of Payne's Gray in it. That's what I'm dying to see. And that's this color. And it makes it's just a straight up nice neutral gray. It doesn't really make a green like I thought it would. Oh, I put that in the wrong spot, didn't I?
I did.
No, that's the red and the blue. Yeah, I know it's confusing. You did that too.
I did some in the wrong spot. Aggie's gonna look at mine and go, "Girl, what kind of mess do you have there?"
The red and the blue. Now I need the, I don't even know what I need. My brain's not working. The burnt sienna and the blue. This was the yellow. I can't, my brain can't figure out what to do. I'm seeing these two similar. Oh, it's the, well, I did the raw sienna and the Payne's gray. Okay, I don't know. My brain's not figuring out what to do next. But that's okay.
Yeah, they are kind of similar, both sides.
Yeah. Okay. Oh, let's do a ring now.
Yeah, I want to do a ring. I have to
Let's
finish.
do a ring. So I'm going to wet the ring first. I'm just going to, quickly paint a whole circle of just clean water. And sometimes what I notice is it just sucks in that water and it doesn't even look wet within a few seconds. So a lot of watercolor painting is actually looking at the sheen, how wet is it? And you can tell a lot by looking at the sheen. So when it's super shiny, obviously it's super wet. And then something happens where it just starts to look like, I don't know, how would you describe it, Shelley? It just looks like it got sucked into the paper.
Yeah. It's not really dry, but not really soaked either. It just kind
Yeah,
of.
you can still see that it's wet, but it's not as wet as it was. And then there comes a point where you look at it and you're like, oh, that might be dry. And what you can do is use the back of your finger to touch it and see. Now with 100% cotton paper, more than likely it's still going to be wet a little while longer. Of course, it depends on the humidity in the room and stuff like that. But so now I'm just going to drop in the raw sienna up here. And this is good practice too. Dropping in pigment and letting it spread. Now it's not spreading too much because you can tell it got a little dry on me already. So I'm going to add more water. And you may not think that you're really practicing much, but you really are, because you're learning to tap that jar. You're learning to rinse your brush. You're learning to pick up pigment. How much pigment do you have in your brush? Etc. You're exposing yourself to all of that. You're creating muscle memory. Is this one my Payne's gray? I think so. Now I'm going to drop in my Payne's gray down here.
Christina, what kind of cutters did you get? I'm dying to know.
I know, I asked her that too.
Oh, did you ask?
She might have the kids pulling her away. She said.
Yeah. That always happens when you want to do something. The dog barks, the phone rings, the kids want something.
Oh, this makes a very pretty, I guess, brown. Actually, this looks like an umber. When you mix burnt sienna with Payne's gray, it looks like an umber. I never knew that.
That is an amazing thing to know. That's a great color. It's one of those colors that that we look for a lot whenever we're painting. We need the branches and the pumpkins and.
Oh, now look at this. Look at this beautiful soft green from the Payne's gray and the raw sienna. I'm telling you, these earthy colors are really, really beautiful. This would make a nice pumpkin, wouldn't it?
That would be perfect. I want to do what you just did. So I don't have raw sienna, but I have the ochre.
You can use your yellow ochre. The thing about yellow ochre, it's just a little bit opaque.
Yeah.
I think, so it's never been one of my favorites, but just add more water to it and you'll be fine. Yeah, Michelle says fall colors. Yes, yes, yes.
I'm going to make that one.
So now what if we did, I don't know, what do you want to do? I'll let you do that one. What if we did secondary colors instead of primary? So that would be orange, green, and purple. Right? What did you say, Shelley? Sorry.
I kind of jumped to that. I actually did Cad Yellow Light, the cerulean blue, and the mineral violet. And it's kind of cool, I have to say. It's kind of cool.
Oops.
Christina
Okay,
said
so
she's got the handheld ones and the one that scores. Yes.
oh, nice. Isn't it nice to get new tools?
It's so fun. Christina, I'm going to have to share in the group. A friend of mine sent me boxes and boxes and boxes of stained glass pieces.
You did score like crazy.
Holy
My
moly.
goodness. Like
So,
you had to figure out where you're going to put it all, right?
well, so today I went on Dollar Tree and ordered some plastic containers so that I can, organize them a little bit. But yeah, so I'm excited to
Nice.
play with those. But in the box too is some big chunky glass, which
I
is
saw that.
really interesting. I'm going to have to play with it and see what I can do with it.
Okay, so I've got brilliant orange, and then I've got phthalo blue yellow shade down here. And then I need a purple. And you used mineral violet? I'm dying to use mineral violet.
I used mineral violet. I didn't use the orange though. I think it'll be cool with the orange. Michelle said she had glass envy. I know. So the cool thing about this glass is she got it. So she works with. I have watercolor on my legs. She works with stained glass, and like that's her full-time job. She goes and they repair a lot of stained glass pieces, and so they bought out a company, a warehouse that had just walls and walls and walls of stained glass.
Oh, okay.
And
Yeah.
so she just put stuff in a bucket for me because she knows how much I love glass. And so she sent me like 5 flat rate giant boxes.
Gosh, that was nice of her.
Yeah. Well, and she like packed it all, just, put cardboard in between, and like she just went to so much work
Wow.
to send me this stuff. So
You're going to have to make a piece for her and send it to her.
I'm trying to get her to let me pay her for shipping, because it was like $100 in just shipping.
Oh my goodness.
So yeah.
What a fabulous friend.
It's so fun. But when you go through these pieces, because it was an old, kind of warehouse, some of it, she said, I hope you have some elbow grease because some of them are dirty. But when you like go into a really old building and you can kind of smell the mustiness of the old, it's kind of.
I love that smell.
I love it too. That's what I was going to say. It's like.
Oh, sorry.
No, like I just, when you say musty, people are like, oh, but I really, it really, I just kind of loved just smelling this old warehouse. It's fun.
I don't know why my brain can't figure out what the third color is. I should have written it down. Okay, this is mineral violet. Okay, so this was, God, I have to slow down and really think about this. This was the violet and the phthalo. Okay, this was the orange and violet. So what am I missing? Violet and phthalo, the orange and the blue. Yeah, the orange and the blue. Oh my goodness, my brain.
Yes, Christina, that's exactly it. Kind of like a library. That has that same wonderful old book smell. I just love it. She wrote a little note on one of the boxes. I'll have to share it in the group. It was funny. It's just like, it takes a special kind of crazy to package glass like this, and then she put a little smiley face by it. It made me giggle so much. She's so funny.
How do you know her?
So it's really, really funny. I've never met her in person. We used to play a game called Township. I don't know if anybody knows that game.
No.
I had little kids at home, and that was how I wasted time basically. But it was fun. We had a great group of friends that really kind
Oh,
of
how
became close.
nice.
So yeah, and we just have always kept in touch. And she actually was the one who introduced me to the tea that I love, and now to the coffee
Oh,
that I
okay.
love. So yeah.
How
If
cool
people
is that?
ever say you can't make good friends just on the internet, they haven't done it right, because I've got
Right?
lots of friends that I've only met on the internet. And I'm excited with our upcoming trip to meet some of our friends in person.
I'm really excited about that. We're having an artist retreat, and it is all sold out, but hopefully we will be doing more of them. This is like our test run.
It's just an experiment.
And this one we're renting a large B&B. Next time around, we'll probably do hotel rooms. Oh, look at how pretty that is.
Between the blue and the orange.
Yeah.
Yeah, that is pretty.
So this basically made a brown, an umber color. The orange and the blue, of course.
Claire said she works full-time remote, and some of her best friends she's never met. So Claire, I
Yeah.
have to say, a year ago when I had surgery, Claire was very sweet and sent me a little succulent plant and a beautiful card,
Aw.
and another card that that she got from her travels, which I've put in a very special place that I love to see. But that succulent is just going crazy out. It's I move them out in the summertime, so every time I see it, I think of Claire and her sweet gift that she sent me.
Shelley, you're the sweetest thing too.
Such a sweet thing.
Claire is very special. We love having Claire
love
in the
Claire.
membership. We kind of miss you, Claire.
Claire's been.
I know you're busy.
Yeah, she's been crazy busy.
And that's what happens. We get so attached, and then people get real busy, but that's okay. It happens. It's life.
Yeah. Well, they get busy and then they come back and visit with us more. So we get to catch up again. Funny thing is, we become so close that we it's almost like we weren't apart.
I'm gonna get some clean water now.
I can't wait to see what you create in your new studio, Claire. That's going to be so fun.
Oh, I spilled some water on here. Now, if that happens, if you accidentally spill color, you can probably lift it up. You get at it right away. And, some pigments are more staining than others. And a lot of artists will choose their palette based on the stain factor. And sometimes that might be the reason why an artist uses a particular pigment. If something is non-staining, they can lift it up if they have a mistake and they want to be able to pull that pigment back off of the paper. A non-staining pigment is going to lift off much better. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
And you can determine the staining factor, if you will, by looking at the manufacturer's website. They have all that information. They get real scientific about it. Okay. Oh, moving and a promotion. I didn't even know about the promotion. Good for you. No wonder you're so busy.
Happening, yeah.
Yay, she's going to share pictures. I love seeing pictures of people's studios and new homes. I love it. So should we do this color wheel now, or should we do the quick little Christmas tree?
I think we should do the Christmas tree, but I'm just excited about the Christmas tree.
Oh, okay. I did a couple practice ones so that I wouldn't look like a total idiot. Because I feel like if I'm out of touch with watercolors, if I haven't, done them in a while, I have to kind of, I don't know, get reacquainted with it first. Does that, you know?
Yeah,
Does
I
anybody
agree.
else like that?
It takes a
Just
little
the
bit
feel
of
of the
time.
brush, everything.
Mhm.
Yeah. So I did a couple of these, and I'll show you how I did these. This was super easy. And the more you do, the better you'll get at it. I mean, like with anything. So I'll show you how this was one style. Here is another one. You know, making more horizontal streaks. I don't know. Do you think I shared the northern, you know, that class I did with the Northern Lights, Shelley? Did I share that on the Painter's Journey YouTube channel or on the Agnes Friedlander
Oh man,
YouTube channel?
I can't remember.
Yeah, I don't remember offhand, but my Northern Lights, actually, that's one that Claire wanted. I did a Northern Lights free class that you can go look up, which really shows how to do trees like this, you know. But I'm going to show you right now too. So anyway, there's this, and then I also did this one. And the reason why it looks faded is because I took a paper towel and placed it on to pull the pigment off of there again. Okay, Claire says it's on the Agnes Friedlander studio page. Okay, so you can go to my YouTube channel separate from this one and go check that out over there. So this is a pad. When I ordered this, I got it the very same day from Amazon. And I really do like this paper. It wasn't too much money. It was under $20, I think, 20 sheets. I really like it a lot. It's nice and rough. I wish you could see how nice and rough it is. But it's nice and rough, which helps you when you're painting with watercolor, believe it or not.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So I'm going to remove this one, and we'll come back to this one. And this one has the waxed sides. So to remove it, it's got the little indicator. You would stick a palette knife in this opening here, and it feels like you're breaking off 5 sheets, but it's just so thick. This is only 1 sheet, I think. And then you just go around, you know, with that to pull that off. And there it is.
I like those the pads that are in blocks like that. You don't have to keep, just kind of hold your paper flat.
Now some of it's got some excess, but then just pull that off and you're fine. Okay, so now I've got a nice fresh sheet, and we'll work on this, right? So what I did was, I've got a secret tool I'm going to share with you on how I got. Oh, where's the other one with the really cool trees? What'd you do with it, Shelley?
I hid it under the desk.
Oh, I can't find it. Where is it? It's because I showed it to you earlier and I don't remember
Now
where I
you
put
lost it. Thank you for doing that, Claire. That's very nice.
Oh, thank you. Yes. See how nice Claire is.
See how wonderful
All
Claire
of our
is.
ladies are so nice. We're so blessed. Okay, I still can't find it.
I really love that rich brown that you got with the burnt sienna and Payne's gray. That's amazing.
Isn't that nice?
Love that. I got mine a little bit dark, but this will be a great piece of paper just to keep. Maybe I'll, put it up on my wall, and it's just a great thing. Oops, I got just a great thing to refer back to.
And it's impressive looking.
Yeah.
It's so simple, but it's kind of impressive looking, you know?
It is kind of art, except my scribbles.
You'll delight your friends when they come over and see that on your wall. They'll be like, oh, what's that? So anyway, check this out. So, you could do just, start out with some simple little ones like this. Yeah, you can do this in acrylics too, Claire. Of course.
Absolutely, yes.
Yes, for sure. And then I was just playing around, just explore, try a couple of different brushes. And then I thought about doing more of a pine tree for this one. And I'll show you how I did this one. I painted the trunk first, but not a solid trunk. So I'll show you. And then I'll share with you the secret tool on how I got these lacy branches. Can anybody guess? Shelley
I
knows.
know. I just don't know where to find one is my problem.
Okay, so I'm going to use a Princeton Velvet Touch, a size 6, something like that size would work well. And I'm going to use a brownish color.
Hi,
Right.
Barb. Ladies, don't forget to be commenting if you're watching because we're going to pick random winners.
Oh, we forgot to say that.
We're going to pick random winners for our giveaway, so don't forget to comment. Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt.
No, you're fine. So then I just made like a spotty trunk. Right, so there's my trunk. And then I'm just going to get some greens going. Oh no, this is where I did the secret thing. Okay, you ready? Here's the secret thing.
Secret thing.
This is the tool. So I'm going to make myself full frame again. I'm just hogging the whole show here tonight, Shelley.
You should.
I don't know about
I like it.
So this is a dowel rod, which I have fashioned into a very long pencil point. I don't remember how I did it. I've had this for so long. But you could use a skewer, I suppose, you know, something like this, a bamboo skewer, but I like the size of this. So anyway, I'm gonna dip this in the water, and I'm gonna basically kind of draw my branches on here a little bit. And so at first I get a little puddle, and that's okay. And I have to look at it from the side to see it. And so once you get a decent sized puddle going, then before it starts to dry on you, you're going to basically drop some pigment in there. Okay, so let me drop some pigment in here. Oops, I think I just whacked the camera real good.
I
So
love this.
Here's some green, and here we go. Look, boom, boom, boom. You just kind of drop it in there and let it flow. Now that's a pretty watery mixture.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't really talk about this at all tonight, but you do want to have thicker mixtures of watercolor for darker, because watercolor dries about 20% lighter than you see when it's wet. So anyway, now that I've got that on there, I'm going to continue basically spreading the puddle with this little point.
I Googled it before we came live because I was sure that somewhere they sell this watercolor stick, but I didn't find anything.
I learned this from Kathy Johnson. That's her name.
I need that.
Kathy Johnson taught this.
That's so cool.
And she is a fabulous watercolorist. I've been meaning to look her up. I hope she's still around. She's a little older, and it's been a very long time since I've popped in on her page, but she's on Facebook. So now I'm dropping in a slightly darker color. Okay. And then I could even maybe do a couple of strokes like this with my brush. Okay.
I don't think I can carve it to a point, Claire. I'll either end up with a flat stick or stitches. I don't know.
Oh, come on. You're the woodworker. Of course you're going to be able to do it.
But it has to be like almost sharpened like a pencil.
That's okay. You could do it. But look how easy that is, right?
Figure it out. It's so pretty.
Now you know my secret.
Barb says
I like shifting it to different, like a blue, maybe.
I love
Sorry.
that stuff too. I was just going to say, Barb said she's been wanting to do glistening pines. I've had another glistening pines variation in mind too that I've been wanting to do and just haven't had a chance to get to it.
Oh,
Claire
yeah?
said she'd end up with stitches almost need a wood pencil sharpener. Yeah, like a big, like a big sharpener for big pencils. Actually, hi Denise, the one that I want to make, I have a wood cutout that I want to go with it, and
I knew it was going to be a wood cutout thing.
it's not the trees.
Of course it's going to be a wood cutout
Of course
thing.
it's going to be a wood
Well,
cutout.
we're having so much fun, like reinventing the classes into wood cutouts.
Well, and this Santa piece that we're doing is going to be really amazing. I'm really excited about him.
Yeah, we shared a preview of it today.
He is pretty cool.
Yeah, he really is. He's going to be a big old Santa.
He's pretty much life size.
He actually is.
Yeah.
I was showing Shelly. I'm like, I printed it out and then I held it up to the mirror. He has the same size eye as me. He's life size.
Yep. I took his hands off of the laser today, and I was like, dude, your hands are bigger than mine.
So there's that one. Now that wasn't all that hard, right? Do you think you could do that?
Yeah, I just need the tool. Yeah.
Can't wait for Santa. Well, try a bamboo skewer. It might work. Okay, so there's that one. And then of course, these little guys, that was just one color. So if we do it with this size 6 brush, you got to figure out what works for you. What I notice about myself, is I don't do the right side as good as the left side.
Yeah.
So sometimes you might need to turn it upside down or something. I don't know. See, that one looks kind of weird, and a lot of times stuff only really looks good when it's in a grouping. You ever notice that? So, let's try that and see what happens. And sometimes stuff looks good when you just do it fast. Just don't think about it so darn much.
I always think it looks better when I come back and look at it later.
Right?
I get so down on it when I'm doing it, and then I leave and come back and I'm like, wow, that's not as bad as I thought. Love to see your additions.
I like adding another color in there too.
Yeah, Christina. So right now it's just a sketch in my book and a picture in my mind, but I'll tell you the secret. I want to do a pair of Canada geese.
Oh, yes.
Above the glistening pines-ish painting.
Ooh.
And so the Canada geese would stand, up a little bit from the canvas, would stand proud from the substrate. I use the word canvas, but my canvases are always wood. So the backer would be wood with the trees and then the Canada geese on top.
Oh, Shelly. We've talked about that since we first met.
Yeah, I know. It's been
told me she wanted to do that, and I'm like, I'm gonna make you do that. I'm gonna bug you about it till you do it.
I know.
I didn't even need to say that to her. She came up with this on her own.
It's just been I've been so busy with everything, setting up the new website, all the wood cutouts, getting the laser set up. So it's just been, I just need to carve out some time. Yes, Claire wants to do a moose. A moose would be amazing. I think that you know, if you just had just the hint of the glistening pines down below, and then, you know, then kind of a misty sky behind the geese, I just think that would be so amazing. I have the substrate made for it. Kay says, you've made me excited to get my watercolors out. Yes, I'm so excited.
Yay. Oh, you know what? I love hearing that.
Yes, that's, there are days where I just need to kind of escape the world a little bit, and watercolors are a great thing to get out. All of your colors are right there. You spray it with a little bit of water, you're ready to go without a lot of prep. I think that's the thing about it. Like with the acrylics, I love working with them, but it's a bit more of a production, right? You get all the colors out, you mix them up. With the watercolors, you just kind of mix on your palette, and you can just have fun with it, and without too much prep. You can do a real quick thing. I definitely need to get that, to get something, some kind of a, we're going to figure out this wood scratcher thing. We're going to, I guess, you really didn't use it as a scratcher. You used it more as just a tip, but.
Yeah, it's almost like it's like a pencil.
Yeah. Maybe that's what, hey, Dasher, no. Maybe they're just like wood, just solid wood pencils.
Yeah.
Hi, Higgins, are you hungry for supper?
I'm not even saying anything here.
Oh, Sheila says she's watching the live but can't comment. I'm gonna tell her to log in.
No, this is just a dowel rod, Barb. It's just a dowel rod. I think I got it from like Home Depot or something. So is Mary here? I hope this was helpful, Mary. And Kay, you made my night saying that. Made me excited to get my watercolors out. Oh, I'm so happy. Okay. What else did I want to? I was gonna. Oh, I was gonna do with it. You want me to show you these other ones?
Yeah, maybe if you do it quick. I'm gonna have to go out.
This was a fun one.
I'm gonna have to go out and close my chickens in a bit.
Oh, yeah, we don't have much time left. Okay. We'll end very soon. So for this one, the way that I did this, I'm sorry, Shelly. Let me show Shelly a little bit here. My goodness.
No, I'm just watching. I just did the.
Oh yeah, if you see the Holbein on sale. Yep. Okay. All right. So I'm going to use a piece of tape just to help me with where the land is, where the, horizon line is. Oh, they're crying.
Higgins is
when I hear them crying.
He's just hungry. He's just like, it's supper time. What about a kindergarten-sized pencil is what Michelle says. That might,
maybe. Yeah, that'd probably work.
That might work.
All right. So what you want to do is get yourself a couple of these colors kind of pre-mixed, just get them out over here on the side so you can grab them. So I'm just going to, put some yellow with some water. And then maybe underneath that, I'll put a green. I already had some brown there, so that's okay. And green mixed with brown is really nice.
Mm-hmm.
They look good together. You might even put some orange out or burnt sienna to grab. I'm going to put some of that out here so I can grab that. And maybe a really pale blue, like our manganese or something like that. Because I like making them shift to a bluish color. And again, you could do a triad study and see what colors would look good for this, and this is essentially glistening pines, you guys, the glistening pines lesson. It's really what it is.
Yeah, it is.
You know, this green gray by Holbein is a really nice handy color to have. And I've got it down here. It's called green gray, I think, right? Wait, what was it called? Let me get the exact name. Yellow gray, 351, W351 yellow gray. It's such a handy color. It looks very weird, but when you mix it with other things, it's a great way to gray everything down because it's got some yellow in it.
Christina is saying if we could do a whole series of wild animals, that would be cool. We've actually, so Aggie and I talk a lot on the phone, and sometimes even when we don't mean to be planning upcoming classes, we end up
It turns into, yeah.
we end up planning upcoming classes. So we have talked about quite a few different animals. We've talked about the bear and the fox, and I don't know what else was in there. We keep our conversations in a notes file that we share, because we've learned that we forget the next time that we talk if we don't keep a note. So Aggie will be talking and she'll say, "Are you writing this down?" Yes, I'm on it. I'm writing it down.
I appreciate you doing that, Shelley.
Well, we learned the hard way. We had some great ideas a couple of times.
Yeah, what was it again? Oh man, I don't know. What was it?
We get going really fast. You know, when you get inspired by something, and we'll go like, oh, but wait, what about this? You know, and so then it'll take off on that kind of turn. Oh, but wait, what about this? So one of the things that we're going to be doing in the Santa's visit that I've been working on is and I'm not going to share what it is because it's super cool, but it's one of those things that kind of came up in a conversation, and the idea bloomed and grew into what we're now going to be offering. So it's going to be really cool.
Okay, I don't think I even know what you're talking about.
She does, but it's secret.
Sometimes I can't remember things while I'm working on something. It's kind of like trying to remember a song title when you're listening to a song. I just cannot do it.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm making this some ugly colors, but you see all I'm doing is, playing with strokes, and I'm letting myself it's like whatever,
It looks like a children's book, like a children's illustration. I like it.
Yeah.
It's funny, we go a little crazy, Christina, when we talk, and then we'll look at the clock and we'll be like, it's now an hour and a half later, and I gotta go do some stuff, and I gotta go to the bathroom. That's always
I can tell you how many times I've been on the phone.
That's always the thing. We have to get off the phone because we have to go to the bathroom.
Oh. Well, do you remember going through friendships and relationships where people get so successful that they no longer have time for you? That's sad when that happens. I've had that happen.
Yeah, that is sad.
And I hope that doesn't happen to us.
I don't think so. I don't think it will ever happen to us.
Yeah.
Especially because we're working together so closely. But with the laser going and all the fans and stuff, it's a little bit, I have to walk out of the laser room a little so I can hear Aggie when she's talking.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Well, I just have to be close while the laser is working because it can, I've never had a problem, but I don't, don't want to have a problem when I'm not watching. So I just have to I kind of babysit it a little bit. The laser needs a little babysitting.
And then I'm going to grab a different brush. Let's see. Next week, I'm going to bring out my quill brushes. That's my favorite thing. All right, here's a bigger brush. This is a size 10.
I love the big moppy brushes.
So I'm just painting with water. And I'm going to drop in.
So fun when you can let the colors kind of do their thing and then see where it goes and kind of build on it. It's pretty.
You know, and don't be afraid to use browns. The browns look so pretty on these pines.
Mm-hmm.
And then I'm going to get my little tool.
It is so nice to have good art friends. Christina said that's the bestest friendship. It really is.
Yeah.
And I feel that way every day as we're chatting in the membership, hearing what everybody has going on, what's, you know, we're just there for each other. Great to
It
have
makes all
that.
the difference. I used to be so lonely in my studio.
Yeah. Well, and as we're doing pieces, even if we feel like a little bit lost, you know, like, I don't know, I feel like for whatever reason today I'm just struggling with this. It's just nice to know that there's always someone in that group where you can just say, you know, why am I so brain dead today? Can someone help me see what I'm doing wrong here? So you know, you just, it's kind of a little safety net almost. You know you have your friends there.
Yeah, for sure. So I really do like this. It comes in so handy, doesn't it?
I love it. I'm going to figure it out. You know how I am when I get.
She figures stuff out. She's a problem solver.
Like I'm gonna,
artists, that's what we are. We have to solve problems. We have to figure out stuff. Oh my goodness. And then what you do is take the tape off, and then you could put like I was going to say a wet bottom. That doesn't sound too good, but you just basically run a watery line along the bottom. And of course, again, we're going to activate from the trunks and kind of pull some of that color in there.
It's amazing how long after you've painted that you can still reactivate and work with that color if you've used good watercolor paper.
Yeah. Yep.
Christina says, we understand one another. That's so true. And, you know, it's nice to have a group like that because, you know, you're not all having a bad day at the same time, you know, like you're going to be able to go in there, find somebody who has a fresh eye and is able to give you the pat on the back and the support that you need to keep going. It's invaluable. It's one of the best things I think about the membership is that messenger group. It's priceless to have art friends there to reach out to.
I mean, I'm surprised. There are sometimes there are new members that don't want to be in there. And it's like, you can turn the notifications off.
Yeah.
Just click at the and you know, I make sure I tell everybody, either I do or Shelly does, and they don't necessarily always get it, and that's okay, you know.
Yeah.
But I feel like, wow, you're kind of missing out, you know.
Even if you only, you know, check in now and then, or only come in, you know, when you have a question, it's a great resource to have. And we do share a lot of stuff in there. There's lots of sneak peeks. The Santa sneak peek that we offered today was only in the messenger. So there is some, there is some interesting stuff happening there. It's not anything that you're not missing out necessarily if you're not in there. That stuff will eventually go to the main group, but it's just little peaks, little perks that we do in there. Yeah, that turned out.
So obviously this is not, you can tell it's a first attempt, and that's okay.
Yeah.
But if I were to do more of these, I'm sure,
definitely
I would refine it and, not have the trunk fat like that and, all that stuff. But look at the cool, when you use the belly of the brush, the side of the brush, and load it with pigment and then run it across this way. That's how you get that beautiful,
yeah,
because
I love that
the texture is so rough.
Mm-hmm.
So I hope that was helpful.
That was fun. Barb says she doesn't, when she's busy, she doesn't follow every comment, but tries to catch up when I take breaks. Yeah, I follow it pretty closely, just, to try to make sure everybody's doing okay. But you can also search within that messenger group. So, you never have to feel like you're missing anything. You could go back in and search for things if you.
Look what happened over here.
Love it.
See, now only with watercolor would you get some surprise like that.
Well, you learn to embrace those, though. That's
yeah.
Some people would fuss and fight at that and not be happy with it, but I love things like that.
Now, I want to share something very important about watercolors that you may not know. Okay, so fasten your seat belts. You might be a little bit shocked by this. Maybe I'll put the camera back over here for extra drama. Do you know how we see so many beautiful, beautiful watercolors? And you're like, gosh, how on earth did they do that? That's, it's like perfectly lightened in the middle and perfectly blended there. And then you can tell that they erased out spots, and how I can't do that when I paint with watercolor. How did they do that? Let me put you back in here, Shelley.
Yikes, I'm all like blurry.
You want to know the reason why? Can anybody guess? I bet, Shelley, you know, don't you?
I think I know. I'm not sure where you're going. I don't know why. Oh,
because they have edited the image in Photoshop. They've scanned it and they've edited the heck out of it to make it absolutely perfect. Now, I've never done that. I don't know how to do that. For a long time, I wanted to learn how to do that. And when I kind of looked into some classes on it and found out, oh my goodness, that's a whole nother ball of wax. And I just decided, I don't want. Now, there are people that teach that, but I didn't want to buy a scanner again. I had a scanner years ago and I just didn't use it. Yeah, it's like photography, but they really do want you to have a scanner. It's better to use a scanner. And, so the reason why I'm saying this is because you might be comparing yourself as artists. This is what we do. We compare ourselves. You might be comparing your watercolor to some refined, retouched watercolor that somebody worked days on, and you're never going to get it to look like that, So don't be so hard on yourself about that sort of thing.
Yeah.
I feel like watercolors, that would be a great business if you want to go. That's another type of artist that you could become. A lot of patterns that we see on fabrics started as watercolors, and then they are very perfected, and then they make a repeat pattern in Procreate or whatever. You can do all that stuff. Maybe who knows? Maybe we'll teach classes on that someday. But I don't know how to do that. I don't know how to do everything. That's one thing I never learned. So
I think that if you're going to offer prints, if you're going to do a piece and scan it and offer multiple pieces, that might be something. I kind of like the watercolors that are you know, I like the painting. You know, I'm at where I'm at. I'm just uninterested in doing.
Yeah. I don't want to, yeah. My digital thing for me anyway, right now where I'm at is Procreate.
Yeah.
And I do still love my desktop publishing. I love creating, the guides, the PDF guides and things like that. Sometimes it gets a little bit monotonous, you know.
Yeah, I
So
do
no,
a lot with the Procreate and sublimate it onto my pieces. That's kind of how I started with the digital art that I do. But I just think, that it's like the acrylic painting. Sometimes it's just nice to have the actual painting, the brush strokes, the personal
there's
touches.
something about the hands-on. There really, really is. When I went to art school, I didn't think that I could make enough money. I wanted to be an illustrator. I took illustration at the American Academy of Art, and it was this is how old I am. It was 1982. Okay. And
I was 4.
that was the first Macintosh coming off the line. There wasn't digital art like there is now.
So
And there were no jobs. I was lucky to get a job.
Yeah.
I was a keyline paste up artist. And so, I kind of knew going in. I went to college on a scholarship. I came from a very meager, we were very poor. So I was very lucky to be able to go, but I wanted to make money. I didn't want to be poor anymore. I was very motivated, and I'm like, okay, well, how much money do you make doing this? And what about the, and I found out how hard it was going to be, how little money you would make. And I just, I went the route as a graphic designer, keyline paste up artist, working in production, ad agencies, things like that. That's who has the money. Sometimes we did, what do you call ads that would go in the newspaper. We did a lot of newspaper ads, believe it or not.
Yeah.
That's all gone now. It's so amazing how the world has changed so much.
It is.
But anyway, I digress. Here it is, 7:42. I don't know. What got me on all that? I don't even know. I'm sorry.
just talking about editing, and it's a good thing to remember. Anytime that you're seeing art places, it's like seeing the super thin supermodels. That's, a lot of that is kind of smoke and mirrors and not really how it is. So
For sure.
we just, I just always, in everything, just try to judge myself on my own pieces. Is this better than the last one I did? Am I learning more and improving? Just judge on my own stuff. My neighbor is texting me. They've got they had a hummingbird trapped in their garage.
Oh.
They if they've got a snake or a turtle or a frog, I usually get the call. Shelley, come help us. We've got a snake.
Are they calling you now?
She was texting me asking.
Oh my goodness. Oh, we gotta let you go. All right, my friend. So we're gonna do a drawing for the prize tomorrow. The prize is tomorrow.
Yeah, I'll draw for my 3 tomorrow. You can tell me how many.
You draw for mine too. We'll come up with a few names. So we would love for you to share this with your friends if you can. I don't know, how do they do that on YouTube?
I think they can just share the link. They can post, if you want to go into your Facebook, you could just share the link to this and to your friends on Facebook. That would be wonderful.
That'd be awesome. But tell us what you thought about this. We're live every Tuesday night at 6 Central. And what are we going to do next week?
So next week, I think we're going to do the Triad pumpkin.
Oh, that's right. That's right. So if you want to join us next week and maybe do something like that, work up your colors. What do you think would make a really good? I really love this.
That turned out really cool. I did one too. I don't know if I can get it in there.
It might be kind of gloomy in a painting, though. It might need a little more. But yeah, I love that.
Yeah, it turned out.
You got to do that. Hi, Sylvia. You're coming in right as we're ending. So yeah, next week we'll take a triad of colors and we'll make. Hey, Jean. We will make a a larger pumpkin, you know, like maybe one to fit on something like this size paper, 7x10 or something,
Great big
or
one.
9x12, whatever. Okay. Thanks, you guys. We're going to announce the winners like next week then. How do you want to do that?
Or I can come into this live and post the names. I mean,
Okay.
I can come into this video on YouTube and I can just post names. So check back.
Oh, in the comments, you mean?
Mhm.
Okay. Okay.
Check back here.
All right. We will do that then. We will announce the winners tomorrow. Shelley will announce them.
Yeah.
She has a way of doing the wheel and
do
generator.
the drawing. Thanks so much for joining us, everyone. Send your friends in, let them comment. Everybody can comment for the rest of this evening. Tomorrow morning, I'll do the drawing.
Thank you, Shelley. Thank you, everybody. Good night.
Good night.
Thanks for hanging out.
Charlie boy.
I don't think I ended. I hit end, but it didn't work. Oh, here we go.